Hello everyone, myself Nidhi Chopra, Assistant Professor in Physics from Khalsa College for Women, Sidhwa Khurd, and today I am going to deliver a lecture on nuclear radiation detectors. Nuclear radiations are the types of particles which are emitted from the radioactive nuclei. Now, these radiations are of the two types, non-ionizing and the ionizing. Non-ionizing further consists of radio waves, microwaves, infrared, light and ultraviolet rays. Whereas in case of ionizing radiations, we are further having two subcategories. One is the radiation coming from the other sources, like these radiations are gamma rays and X-rays, and the other types of nuclear radiations are the neutron radiation, beta particles, alpha particles and also the gamma rays. Now, there should be some method to detect these types of radiations. These methods or these techniques are used in the detectors to detect various types of radiations and the radiations of different energies. So, today we will discuss about the radiation detectors and mainly the gas-filled detectors. So, radiation detectors detect the particles which are losing their energy when they pass through the metal. Now, on the basis of the energy lost by these ionizing particles, we can detect them that which type of radiations they are. So, radiation detectors are of three types: gas-filled detectors, scintillation detectors and semiconductor detectors. Today, we will discuss about the gas-filled detectors. These detectors detect the incident radiation by the measurement of two ionization processes. So there occurs two ionization processes. One is the primary process, in which the ions, positive and negative ions, are produced directly by the radiation particles, and secondary process are the process in which additional more charged particles are produced by the primary particles. This means that large number of charge carriers are produced. So the phenomena is called as the Townsend avalanche, as so many large number of particles are produced means an avalanche is created. Primary and secondary particles produced in the gas are separated by the Coulombic effects and collected by the charged electrodes. Anode, which is positively charged electrode, collects the negative ions or the electrons, and cathode, which is the negatively charged electrode, collects the positive ions. Now, there are various components present in the gas-filled detector. First component is the cylindrical gas chamber, which can consist of any of the type of the gas: air, mixture of methane and argon, helium, neon, any type. Second is the anode, means there is a wire at the center of the chamber which is given a positive potential. Cathode means the chamber walls, the chamber in which we have taken the gas, the walls of that chamber act as the cathode, given the negative potential. And the other thing is the operating principles. Now, operating principles are: voltage should be applied across the electrodes. Incident radiation when enter the chambers causes ionization of the gas present in the chamber. The positive and negative ions that are created by the incoming ionization radiations separate out and migrate to their respective electrodes, means negative ions move towards the anode and positive ions moves towards the cathode, and thus on collection of these ions a current output is produced, which and the corresponding voltage is obtained across the load resistor. So these are the operating principles for a gas-filled detector. Now we will discuss it in detail. So here you can see a gas-filled detector and its schematic diagram, where the cylindrical chamber is consisting of the gas which we have to ionize. The walls of the chamber is connected to the negative terminal of the battery, means it acts as a cathode. There is a central wire, thin metal wire, which acts as the anode. Now here we will discuss the effect of the voltage. When initially the voltage is low, then ions produced by the ionizing radiation get recombined to each other, as the potential applied is not so much that the ions get separated. so they recombine and neutralize each other. Now, when we increase the operating voltage, all the primary ions formed by the incident radiation get collected at their respective electrodes. When furthermore more voltage is applied, then there comes a flood of ions due to the secondary ionization caused by the primary ions. The output current is no longer proportional to the primary ionization, means it now does not depend on the primary ionization as a large number of secondary ions have already built up. So ionization here is the avalanche ionization. Here are the different regions of the working of a gas-filled detector, how the pulse height varies with the applied voltage. So first region is the recombination region. Now we will discuss about each of these regions in detail. So here is the first region is the recombination region in which the applied voltage is very less, as a result of which the ion pairs get recombined to each other and cannot get separated. The second chamber is the ionization chamber in which the primary ions get collected on the electrodes and the saturation voltage is obtained. Third region is the proportionality region in which the gas amplification occurs, means there is large number of secondary ionization in this region. The total charge gets collected on the electrodes. Now in this case, the increased output current is related to the primary ionization via the proportionality constant. That's why it is called as the proportional region. Fourth is the limited proportionality region in which the collected charge becomes independent of the primary ionization and secondary ionization progresses to the photoionization. Proportionality constant is no longer accurate here. So this is called as the limited proportionality region. Last region is the Giga region. In this region, any radiation event which is strong enough to produce the primary ions results in the complete ionization of the gas. So here is a term used is dead time. So mainly what is dead time? Dead time is the time in which the counter doesn't detects any of the radiation, means it is in off position. And when this occurs, when the number of charge carriers are produced so much large, means the positive and negative ions are produced. In that case, the negative ions have this more mobility as compared to the positive ions, so these easily move towards the anode. But due to the ionization, positive charge cloud is present near the anode, so it repels, or mainly you can say that it doesn't provides the path to the electrons to reach the anode. So the electrons are not collected at the anode and there is no current for some time, means there is no pulse for some time. So that time is called as the dead time, when the detector is effectively shut off. The dead time limits the number of radiation events that can be detected. Usually dead time is of the order of 100 to 500 microseconds. And the last region is the continuous discharge region. Here electric field strength is so intense that no initial radiation event is required to completely ionize the gas. Only the electric field itself provides the secondary ionization, means there is no role of the primary ionization required for the ionization of the gas. The electric field due to the two electrodes, anode and cathode, itself causes the ionization. Thus, detector in this region is of no use. So this was all about the detector, the radiation detector, mainly the gas field detector. The other detectors we will discuss it later. Thank you. Have a nice day.